Hey, it's Stephanie. I've noticed a lot lately on social media, there have been a lot of posts from other adoptees with these questions and issues and sometimes debates on one's adoption journey and the issues that go along with it and the questions that we all have or don't have. In today's video, I wanted to discuss some of my feelings as a Korean adoptee, what I think of some of these issues that go along with adoption. Sherlock, do you want to go on a walk? Come on, let's go. I feel like adoptees fall into one of two categories. Either ones that had good/happy adoptions or ones that had bad/traumatic adoptions. And I would say I fall into the good, happy adoption category. I was adopted at 9 months old from South Korea. I also have a sister who was adopted at 7 months old. And we had a pretty normal life. I'm not saying it's perfect because nobody has a perfect life. I mean, my parents always loved us like we're one of theirs and treated us equal. But I can't say the same thing for other people, like outside people made some rather rude and snarky comments. But overall, I'd say my life's been pretty happy and not too crazy eventful and traumatic or anything. Do I feel that being adopted was a traumatic experience for me? I don't think it was. Of course, it wasn't perfect, and no one's life is rosy or perfect. And of course, I had some issues and questions, and I did feel different compared to a lot of my classmates and people around me and family. But I don't think it was anything that I considered damaging to me. I mean, my parents did divorce when I was in elementary school, which kind of sucked, but you grow, you acclimate, you get used to things, and I'd say we're a happy extended family. But I can't speak for other people. This is just my personal experience. But I don't feel being adopted did any lifelong damage to me. I decided to stop by my mom's for a little bit. By the way, she has a much nicer garden than I can ever even imagine. So I think sometimes with adoption, I think a lot of people think that all adoptions are the same. And I feel that even a lot of other adoptees feel that their own story should mirror someone else's story. But that's not really the case with me. I'm not a big fan of absolutes. And I understand that not everything is black or white. Just because I was raised a certain way and I have one, narrative, doesn't mean that everyone else is going to feel the same way. For someone who, say, like me, had good parents and a good adoption and was happy, I'm going to view adoption as a positive thing. But for someone who didn't have a good adoption or didn't have good parents, they're going to view it as a negative thing. And neither opinion is right or wrong because it's based on our own personal experience. And I really don't think that someone should put their experience or feelings on another person. Another thing people ask me is, as a transracial adoptee, did I ever feel conflicted about, being Korean and raised by white parents? And I'm not going to lie. Sometimes it was a little confusing. There were some issues not because of my parents or my siblings or immediate family, but there's always outside factors. Mostly nosy people who should mind their own business would make snarky comments, and then you'd have kids make mean comments too, because let's face it, kids aren't so nice and innocent at times. And when I was younger, I would feel a little awkward and different and not always like I fit in. And I felt like I either had to be more Korean or more American, and it was just back and forth battle. But now that I'm older, I happily exist in those gray spaces. I don't feel like I have to be one or the other. I can, be Korean and I can be an American. I can have an Iowan accent and I can like kimchi. It's not too hard for me. I think, living in those gray spaces actually opens up your mind to so many things. When I went to Korea back in April, I went there for the sole purpose of just, having the experience of being back in Korea and no kind of expectations or like I had to be a certain thing or not. So I do feel that living the way I do and not having to choose one or the other, it just makes me more open-minded, not just to adoption, but just experiencing different types of people and things. I was in desperate need of a caffeine fix. I've never been to this place before, so I thought I'd try an iced vanilla latte. Cheers. A lot of people ask me if I'm interested in finding my birth parents. And in all honesty, the thoughts really never occurred to me. And I know that's different for everyone, but I think for me, I've always just been happy with, who my parents are. I consider my parents my real parents, and my sisters and brothers my real sisters and brothers, and I'm happy with things are with my husband, my dog, my cat, my family, and my friends. So I just don't have that desire to go looking for something that I don't even know if it would really mean anything to me. But I understand why other people do. I understand that there's people who, like I said, have bad adoptive parents, and they're looking for that parent, or they're looking for that missing piece, and there's nothing wrong with that. And I know people who had good adoptive parents, and they're just very curious, or they want to meet the person who gave birth to them and, tell them thank you, or show them that they're, grateful for that sacrifice they've made. But I guess for me, it's just something I've never thought about. Another thing I've noticed a lot on social media amongst adoptees is this kind of discourse or divide about adoptees having differing opinions. Like, I will see some really ugly comments and nastiness to adoptees who feel a different way than another adoptee. Like, people will get triggered. Oh, so you're ungrateful? Or so just because you look at things through rose-colored glasses? And I don't feel that way. For adoptees who have a different experience than me, when you come to me, you tell me something, I'm here to give you a safe space to feel different than me. Just because I had, a good childhood with my parents and I was happy, I don't expect you to feel the same way as me. And I'm not going to ever tell you that you should, or shame you, or guilt you. You have a right to whatever you experienced and whatever you're feeling. Adoption is very personal, and I hope we all continue our journeys, no matter where it takes us. For all you adoptees out there, what are some of your thoughts on adoption? It's been a privilege to share my story. Thank you for watching. Bye now.